I would call this meeting to order. We are missing today Jack Nugent and I guess just Jack today. So we do have a quorum. I will read the statement of purpose. The Development Authority of Alpharetta is granted the powers and jurisdictions through the State of Georgia General Assembly and a resolution adopted by the Alpharetta City Council on September 3rd, 1996. The function of the authority is to promote the public good and general welfare, trade, commerce, industry, general tax base, and the employment opportunities available in the city of Alpharetta. With that said, we're going to move to the consent agenda with the approval from the minutes of our last meeting on December 19th, 2023. And it just goes to myself, Morgan, and John because the other people were absent. Do you see any changes that we need to make to the minutes?
Madam Vice Chair, does that mean we do not have a quorum to vote on the minutes? So typically, the advice that we give is that even if you were not present at a meeting, that does not mean that you have to recuse yourself from the vote. If you are satisfied that what is there is an accurate representation, you can still vote, but that's up to y'all, and we could always move it to the next meeting if we needed to. But
okay, they're fine. Does anybody want to make any changes to the minutes? Do I have a motion?
Second.
All in favor? And that. Do we need to do it on electronic voting on that? Or okay, so that passes. So the next, we are going to have the presentation and the overview of open record procedures.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everybody's had a few minutes to thaw out a little bit since coming inside. My name is Kirsten Van Horn. I'm the Assistant City Clerk. You all might know Lauren Shapiro, who is our City Clerk. She usually does this presentation, but was unable to make it tonight, so I am filling in for her. This is just a short presentation about open records, particularly as it relates to the email addresses that you were just assigned today and how those two can work together. There we go. Okay. So the Open Records Act just is a legally way of the public accessing documents from the government, any kind of records, any kind of meetings, that sort of thing. And they are entitled to view any of those, most of those documents as submitted. Okay, so public record could be anything, any kind of document, map. It could be something handwritten if you're taking notes during a meeting. It could be text messages. Pretty much anything is open to the to be viewed. So just a little background. 2022, we had received over 62 open records requests in the city of Alpharetta. Last year it was just over 6,400, I believe, so it is increasing. Most of those are public safety related as far as police records, police reports, and such. The city clerk's office does get quite a few as well, and a lot of those requests involve emails as a matter of record to produce for any kind of topic, for any employees and such. So we do have an online portal, it's called Just FOIA, that the public will go and submit all their information, including their name, contact information, specifically the kind of information that they're looking for. And that internally gets routed to the correct department. So if it's a police record, it'll go to the police department. If it's finance related, we'll reach out to the finance department. If it's a deposition, it'll go to court and so on. When we get those requests, we are legally required to respond to the requester within 3 days. That's not necessarily producing the documents if we don't have them, but it is at least getting back to them, giving them an estimate or on time or cost. So at that time, if we do get any requests for emails from any particular person, we'll reach out to them and begin that search. There are redactions by law that we can make, things, personal information, as you can see, cell phone numbers, personal emails, medical records, attorney-client privilege. Okay, so today, most of you, I think, or all of you got your Alpharetta email address assigned to you, which is fabulous. So moving forward, any City of Alpharetta business will be conducted using that email address. City staff will contact you via that email address. Responses should be on that email address as well. And that's for 2 reasons. Again, for open records, we have an easy way to search your email addresses, and also for the cybersecurity. And then in this here too, if you have any issues getting into that email, you can reach out to our IT department. You met Jason and Terry earlier inside. And then they do send out training videos once a month just to take a look to refresh your memory on cybersecurity issues. Okay, so just to clarify, completing city business on a personal account does not circumvent the open records request. So if we do get a request asking for information regarding a specific topic, and it so happens that it was on your personal email account, that does not keep us from asking for those emails as well. So moving forward again, having these business email for Alpharetta will just circumvent that and keep all business related to those accounts. And that's basically it. So it's pretty straightforward. If there's any questions, I thank you for your time and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you very much. Okay, now we are going to move on to unfinished business, determination of the 2024 Development Authority's meeting schedule. And that is the last page we have there. So we have a proposal to move the meeting of the Alpharetta Development Authority from its current schedule of 5 p.m. on the third Tuesday of each month to 6 p.m. on the first Tuesday of each month, starting in April of 2024. If adopted, the 2024 meeting schedule would be as follows, and there's the list there of the dates. And it would take place here in Chambers.
So this meeting schedule takes into account the availability that was provided by all authority members, and we would start that move in April, in part that we wanted to accommodate a bus tour that we've been trying to schedule for some time. Having the March meeting at our current time, the third Tuesday, the third Tuesday at 5 p.m. allows it to be after daylight savings time, and keeping it at 5 p.m. is a little earlier. And in lieu of our normal meeting, we would do that as a bus tour, keeping that daylight, and then starting in April, move to that 6 p.m. Time frame, if that works for everyone.
Great.
So that 16th meeting would be on the 19th, it would be the bus tour. Did I understand that correctly?
The March 16th meeting would be the bus tour, and then we would move to the first Tuesday of the month at 6 p.m. after that.
For April, okay. Do we need to vote on that, or?
I would just motion to approve.
Okay.
The first sentence should be.
Okay. Somebody want to make a motion?
So moved. Second.
And everyone in favor? Everybody agrees on that? The new business of electing the chair, vice chair, and secretary treasurer. Do we want to, I mean, I think Jack would be fine with, I nominate Jack to be vice chair. Unless somebody else wants to do it. Yeah. Unless you want to be chair.
Pardon, for
Okay.
clarification, you listed Jack as vice chair. Are you nominating Jack Nugent for the role of chair?
Chair, yes,
Okay,
I'm
great.
sorry, yes.
Would anyone like to second that? Okay, great. And any in favor of voting for Jack Nugent to continue as chair, please raise your hand. Great. Then Jack will remain as chair. Okay, now for vice chair, do we have a nomination for vice chair?
I'm vice chair.
Madam Vice Chair, do you accept the
I
nomination?
accept the nomination.
Okay, great. All in favor of keeping Jill Bernard as vice chair? Okay. And then finally, we have the role of secretary treasurer. Do we have a nomination for secretary treasurer?
A second.
Do you accept the nomination? Okay, great. All in favor? Wonderful. Okay, congratulations.
Okay, and that finishes our new business. And then we have the partner update, City of Alpharetta Economic Development. Is that you, Charlotte?
Yes, that'll be me for right now. So as I mentioned to some of you, Lance is out sick for the day. We do also have Economic Development Director and Director of Community Development, Kathy Cook, here as well to answer any questions. Couple of things on our updates. We're going to be rolling out a plan to market the Connect Forward grant to local businesses. We plan on doing this through some press releases to some local media and doing a social media push. So we are working the details out on that and then hope to be able to show you some of the advertisements we've made by our next meeting. We've also been meeting with the owners of a number of local office spaces to look at a potential small area plan, specifically in the Great Oaks area, but to solicit feedback from these brokers and owners as to whether they'd like to be involved. Similar to something like the Brookside plan, there was a small area plan the city executed about 2 years ago. So this is just a lot of outreach to existing office owners trying to engage in smaller areas and smaller footprints. Additionally, the Windward LCI that you all saw the presentation from a couple months back is wrapping up. It's in its final draft stage, and it's going to be brought to council later this quarter for approval. The State of the City is going to be held Thursday, February 1st at 7:30 a.m. at the Alpharetta Convention Center. So this is in Hotel Avalon. The mayor is giving his annual speech. We would like to go ahead and invite all Development Authority members to attend. If you'd wish to attend, just come speak to me after the meeting and we'll secure a ticket. We have a number of tours and ribbon cuttings happening this month. There is a facility that's logistics supply chain platform, Caleris, that has moved into Preston Ridge and will be doing both a tour with the mayor and a ribbon cutting in mid-February. Next week, we're going to be holding a tour and another ribbon cutting with a group called PPL. They are a healthcare company, and they're taking space in the 8000 Avalon building. So we will have the mayor in attendance for that and look forward to welcoming them into that space. I think those are the updates I have. Kathy, do you have any other updates to add?
No, I think I covered everything. Of course, we can answer any questions.
Sure. Any questions? Great. Then we'll turn it back over for discussion, I suppose, for anything else.
Does anybody else have anything you'd like to discuss? I do have one question, Kathy, maybe on the North Point Mall presentation. Is that coming up soon? Do they have plans on that yet?
So, course, we've partnered with New York Life over the last year, but we don't think, I think the paper had said if something was coming in the spring. But
Yeah.
It's probably not going to be the spring. It's going to be sometime
Okay.
this year. We are working with them, and we do expect something later on in the year, but I don't know if they'll make the spring deadline. That's something that they asked me about too, and they said, well, we're just going to look bad if we don't make that deadline. So, yeah, it's something this year, but they are actively working on a plan.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Well, with that, we are adjourned.
Probably our shortest meeting, but
Yes.
it was still very necessary.